Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you brought your umbrellas today for round 2 of the GT3 Masters here at RCI TV. We're thankful that you joined us. We're thankful that, well, the rain's not too heavy yet. Seems like it's going to be increasing as this session goes on and possibly increasing as the race session goes on. So that is something to look forward to for sure. Today we are in the desert of California. We're at one of my all-time favorite circuits. One that I deeply love and deeply cherish as an American. It's none other than Laguna Seca, a challenging circuit on a good day, an extra challenging circuit on a day like today. And, well, I'm just excited to get forward to some racing action. My name is Jack Mays. Joining me in the booth is none other than Callum Kerwin, my Monday buddy. And, of course, Ash Bibby is giving us the pretty pictures, trying to do his best to distract us from our job at hand, and doing a wonderful job at both. As always, Callum, I always ask this pretty much every week. Are you ready?
For this stream, yes. To pronounce this guy's name, as Bibby is trying to commentate in our ears at us, absolutely not. But yeah, no, it's good to be back for another Monday. I think we've got something we'd like to see other than Philip Campbell-Dix in the 573, which is Wet Jesus is here, or Czech Jesus, as I should say.
Czech Jesus is
Czech
here.
Jesus.
For those of you who aren't an RCI regular,
he can basically walk on water.
Basically can walk on the water. There is very few drivers that RCI have ever seen that are as good in the wets as Martin Lawrence, and this is also his first round joining us. He unfortunately wasn't able to make it to round 1, but he's with us now, and that's good because he's also in the boat, the Bentley, and no car is more appropriate to take on this soggy circuit. And we're gonna go for an onboard here around Laguna Seca. For familiarize those of you who aren't familiar with the circuit, and also familiarize myself because I've never driven this circuit. Oh well, thanks, Martin. That was very kind of you. I was gonna say I'm not very familiar with the circuits. That would have given us a leg up there, but hopefully we should get another lap on board soon. But it is Czech Jesus, Martin Lawrence at the pole at the moment. We are only 6 minutes into qualifying, Callum, so times I'm sure are still gonna start coming up better as we get more comfortable and more brave.
Yeah. I'm sorry, we've changed how we stream at the moment. Well, we've changed how we do things internally at the moment. And all I can now hear is car on, so I need to turn that down. I thought I'd turn it down enough.
I think that's a bad thing.
Sorry, Bibby fixed the sound. Last stream about it, and now we're about having this sound. We did.
I said nothing. I love it. I love our streams no matter how. While Philip is going on and we're not talking about his lap, there is a question from Callum since he posed. Well, we're not getting a lap yet again. There was a question posed.
Oh, that's Olivier Curtin's round.
That is Olivier Curtin's round, unfortunately, just out of the way of Peter Varga. And but there is a question in the YouTube chat early on because you asked if anyone had questions. Yep, that is how you get round there, and well, probably a bit of a heart and mouth moment for Varga, but he managed it. It's how important is qualifying, or does qualifying matter in the 24-hour race? That is the question.
Well, obviously qualifying determines where you start on the grid, so it's quite vital. The closer you are to the front, the better. So I can't remember the Will Buxton meme from Drive to Survive about him saying about qualifying, but I feel like that's in reference to a meme because I remember it partially, but I can't remember where it's from.
So you're saying it does matter? Is your official answer?
I mean, if you ain't first, you're last. To quote Ricky Bobby.
That is deeply appropriate. For those of you who are aware, the Rolex 24 in Daytona. This past weekend, I will certainly be talking about that at length, but I will hold myself back at the moment, so that is very appropriate. Because if you ain't first, you're last. There was a guy there who was dressed up as Ricky Bobby in the full Wonder Bread suit, quoting lines to the camera, and it was brilliant. and it made me happy. It stirred my inner American. Because let's be honest, we're all really NASCAR fans at heart. Everything else is just noise.
I have to say, I do like NASCAR.
I think you like NASCAR more than I do. I'm sort of beginning to show interest.
I like NASCAR, but top tip for anyone who sees this: search on YouTube NASCAR Radioactive. What it is, it's the highlights of the NASCAR race, but with just the driver, spotter, and team coordinator radio played over it. Honestly, most entertaining thing I've ever watched in my life.
That is good. To answer your question, Hypnotic, this race is 1 hour. No, this race is 1 hour. The final 2 rounds are 1 hour and 30 minutes. So, rounds 2, 3, 4, 1 hour long, with a mandatory stop for tires, and the final 2 rounds are 90 minutes. So if you're looking to join us, do that, and that's how long the races are. So yeah, it would be great to see you on the grid if you join us, and we'll be talking about you. That's not the line.
Stop stealing my phrase.
I don't know if you can claim that phrase as your
I
own.
can. I really can. I've never heard it said at RCI before I started saying
Whoa! Maybe right. Ooh, that's a good camera shot for the corkscrew there, the world famous corkscrew. And I like that. Yes, I did like that. I won't replay last week's events regarding cameras that I like because I got in trouble. So I will leave it as I like it. Other things I like: this Williams FW11 livery with Olivier Kierton, and also the NSX in general, Callum. It's a good car. It's a good livery. And custom liveries are back as well.
The NSX. Yeah, custom liveries are back. We managed to sort that out. Apologies to the drivers who cried about it last week. There was obviously a bit of a hiccup, and we got it sorted. So it is still a bit janky. It's not quite how we'd like it, but I'm sure Stewie is furiously trying to think of a better way of doing it. But this is the way we've got for now, and it works. It just means that poor old Ryan Gill has to update them all the time when people send him new ones rather than it being done automatically. We should probably talk about what's actually going on. Currently, we have 4 minutes to go. Peter Varga, who is on a lap, is currently sitting in 9th place. Ahead of him is Andy Boardman, followed by the two Hondas in 6th and 7th. Then we've got Miso Stubner, Andre Bastek, who I'm going to say got kind of robbed last week. He was on for a really good finish, and then I think some contact and a penalty took him down, from my vague memory, although I have slept since then, so it might have not been that at all. Nico Kumpu and Raphael Hugh are obviously two people who are always near or up the top end of our Mondays championships. Very well-known drivers within our community, very fast drivers obviously as well. And then Martin Lorenk driving the boat. Clearly he's got the right sails this week, I don't know. He is sitting top of the timing sheets, about 3/10 of a second ahead of anyone else.
Are you making boat puns? Going to the head?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I mean, the Bentley is called the boat thing.
Which, by the way, the head refers to the toilet on a ship. So,
Was it? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it does in fact, and I'm hypnotized by our puns thus far.
Oh God, get out!
Indeed continues. No, I will not.
Get Cormac back in here.
No, I won't. He's barred. I locked him in a closet. Not allowed to come out till the stream is over. And we were just on board with Kevin Moss, who's made his glorious first showing on this championship.
They've put a flight sim in his cockpit, so when he's on his downtime, he can do this.
Yes, when he's not actively flying planes, he's in the back of the plane doing sim racing. But
that would be
Kevin
sick,
Moss,
you know?
that like full. It's like a motion rig, except you don't know. It's just kind of
yeah. You've got your full motion rig, and then the plane going into like a nosedive or something.
Yeah, and Kevin Boss, for those of you who don't know, is our event manager for our Monday champs on RCI. So one of our oldies but goodies. And if you have quandaries or qualms with the weather. I'm not going to tell you to point fingers, but if you were to point a finger, that is
Shout
the
at Kevin.
direction it should. No, yeah,
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah. I mean, I'm hoping we see some kind of wet to dry transition. I don't know what the weather's going to do for the course of the race. I don't know if it'll be anyone who knows, but I'm hoping for like a wet to dry transition because it will make the pit stops quite interesting. But
It sounds like that there might be some drivers on dries and some drivers on the wets.
well, it's only a greasy circuit, so
yeah.
and there's still 25 degrees track temp, which I know isn't a lot, but you could probably still heat dries up quite comfortably. But we'll have to see. I mean, there are a couple of wet lines being taken, but dry lines as well in certain corners. So I think it just depends on how confident they feel as Andy Boardman comes all the way up to the line, up the hill, and jumps up into 5th place. It's about 6/10 of a second off Lauren. Yeah, it's a good lap from him.
Ooh, Batek, I see on my timing sheets, is up by almost enough to be within a shout of pole. So maybe we'll see if he can keep that lap together. He's 5/10 up at the moment, so it's not all said and done for the pole position. This will be his final lap. And we'll see. He's looking still pretty good. Oh, that's big up on exit. Oh, uh-oh. I think we're about to see a provisional pole sitter. We do. He does have another lap, but that's Andrzej Batek up to provisional pole at the moment. Most of our drivers finishing up. Wait, no, that's it. That is qualifying. Oh, no, there's still cars on the track. Sorry, I'm goofy. I saw a bunch of cars pop into pit lane. The session's completely over. But that's my apologies, but we do still have plenty of cars driving around. The important thing, though, Martin Lorick is done. Raphael Huel's done. Kumpu's done. Boardman's still going. Stubna's off, and it's up between Roxcamp and Boardman to snatch pole. Boardman is up, but not quite enough to get pole. Let's see how Marvin Risenhauer can do. Boardman goes, finishes 5th. Who's not done. Risenhauer's up by quite a bit. He's gonna. Ooh, he jumped up to 3rd.
Good lap. Really good lap.
Very good lap towards the end of that session.
Gained about 4/10 of a second on the end of that. So.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the kind of qualifying session you like to see in the wet. Is sort of at the very end, times just sort of start to jump around. But we thought it was Jesus's day, but seems like Jesus is going to have to do it in the wet. It's Andrzej Batek on the pole. Martin Lawrence, who is Jesus. And if you hear Jesus, we're referring to Martin Lawrence. And Marvin Risenhauer in 3rd. Raphael Huel 4th. Nico Kumpu, our current victor, our reigning victor in the series. Andy Boardman is in 6th. Miso Stubna 7th. Thibaut Raska 8th. Philip Kamperdix in 9th. Emma Plates 10th. Peter Varga 11th. Olivier Kirton 12th. Mike Redford 13th. Philip Ria 14th. Mike Foxall 15th position. Kevin Boss 16th. Alexander Anakin in 17th. Hugo Duby in 18th. And Joe Dauber, rather unsurprisingly, is at the back of the grid. Because for those of you who aren't aware, Joe Dauber, when it comes to Mondays, really almost never qualifies and really usually has buckets of pace. And it's always exciting to see him come through the fields. I could be mistaken, Callum, but that looks like a lot more rain and a lot more dampness on that circuit.
Well, the track's wet. It's not greasy. So the track is now officially wet, and the rain is increasing for the next 30 minutes at least. So I don't think our pit stop idea is going to go to plan of them switching over to dries, because they switch over at about 30 minutes time, and that's when the rain's even more intense than it is now. So I think this is going to be an all wet tyre affair. I think everybody is changing over their setups to make sure they're on the correct tyre. I really hope they do. Otherwise, we're going to see a bowling alley at turn 1. But yeah, I think we've got some championship standings. I'm getting mutterings in my ear.
We do as well.
They're on screen, but we can't see them.
That's okay, because I have them in front of me. Nico Kumpu is the current leader of the championship. Raphael Huels in 2nd. Andrzej Batek 3rd. Miso Stubna 4th. Tebow Roskam 5th, Olivier Kierton 6th, Boardman 7th, Varga 8th, Mount Malcolm 9th, Redford 10th, Cizeron 11th, Dauber 12th, Doobie 13th, Foxhole 14th, and Richard Meerman are the top 15 of our championship so far. That is after round 1, and I imagine with this type of weather, we might see a bit of a shakeup in the championship standings. Also, we have a bunch of new drivers, which, Callum, is absolutely wonderful to see. I know you'll agree with me. And a surprisingly larger grid than last week, considering the weather, because oftentimes weather, if drivers maybe want to miss a race of a season, they're going to pick the one in the wet because, well, race cars generally are designed to go in the dry and are a lot more happy in the dry. But the wet is always a new challenge and hopefully an exciting race. And every week, this is what I look forward to most. It's not the racing. It's not the drivers, going their
Is it the
hardest to wheel to
patented
wheel.
Ash Bibby grid walk?
Oh, it's the
drone
patented
walk.
Ash Bibby drone walk.
It is nice to see. Obviously, we mentioned last week we didn't have custom liveries, so it's going to be a nightmare for us lot because we've got to now spot them out in different liveries to what they raced last time in. I can tell you
We
that
get paid the big bucks.
Oh yeah, we get paid loads of money here. Andy Boardman and then Misa Stubner. I should probably mention at the same time that if you do want to join RCI, unfortunately we can't give you money. You do get to spend time with some lovely people, such as Jack, myself, Ash, and all the rest of the gang.
People.
Whether it's well, some of them are lovely. Whether it's you want to be a steward, a commentator, broadcaster, or help out with anything else, join the Discord, as I will say it with my teeth in instead, because it generally works better that way. And yeah, just have a look in the relevant channels. I think it's like staff vacancies, I think is the one where we say to. But if you're confused by anything, just message one of us with RCI in our name. And we will definitely help you out there. Again, if you want to join any of the championships, that's the best place to go. There'll be links to our sim grid as well, which is what we use to run everything. I do love that Williams livery. It actually looks quite good on an NSX.
It does.
Sometimes F1 liveries don't translate very well over to tin tops. I was about to say to single seaters, but I don't know. That one kind of works for me.
I would completely agree.
Ash Bibby's confused. I called it a tin top because it has a tin top.
I haven't heard that one in forever. I haven't heard someone refer to a sports car as or just generally a car with a roof as a tin top. This livery excites one person in here in particular.
In a similar way to whatever the hell it was last week that excited you. I can't even remember.
It was so for me it's camera shots. For Ash Bibby it's really good liveries. Now we just need to figure out what gets Callum Kerwin's
what floats my boat.
What floats his boat, certainly in this weather. It might be something
that it might broadcastable.
Yeah, I don't think it is either. I know there are some weird websites.
Why have we slipped back into this? We said we weren't going to do this after last week.
Well, I'm just saying, you guys were trying to get me to go to some weird websites.
No, you went away before the broadcast started, and we were telling Cormac to change your computer background to something else. That classic Year 7 IT lesson prank when you make us to the toilet and changing their laptop background to an image that shall not be named.
There is some spray coming off the back of those cars as they're setting off on their lap. And congratulations, you just got ran over.
It is wet.
It is wet. 1 hour of wet stands between one driver among our grid and victory. I'm being asked to do an Irish accent, and okay, Joe Dauber forgot to hit drive, and
oh no,
and he's in pit lane. You know, I was really hoping, it's kind of something where I was like, oh, it's a what if race for Joe Dauber last week after his stop go coming into pit lane, and I really wanted to see what he could do in the dry, but well, In other news, he is informing us that Thibaut Roskamp, he's apparently on dry tires.
Brave.
So keep
That's
your
brave or a
eyes,
mistake.
yeah, keep your eyes peeled on 7th position at the start of the race.
He stopped. He stopped on the side of the track. I reckon he's loaded the wrong setup. So he's stopped on the side of the circuit. Can he escape and go back? Yeah, I think he's escaping and going back to the pit lane. I'm seeing flashes on the.
Oh, there's somebody.
Or not.
I think he's waiting to go. Not exactly. No, we're hearing that maybe he's waiting till they go across the line. Maybe he'll get sent or he'll get teleported.
Ooh, there's a car off in the background. There's a Lexus off in the background. I think that was Rhea.
Oh, he's back on now.
He's back on now. He went off. I think he went deep into what's the corner after the corkscrew? Turn 9.
I gotta say,
aptly
named.
YouTube chat.
Aptly named. Rainy curve. You cannot write this. It's called Rainy Curve. And well, final corner for.
Oh, there's a crash.
That's somebody backwards.
I think it was a Lexus. Yeah, it is. It's
Andre Pastek.
Andre Pastek has crashed on the exit of the final corner, getting ready to go green. He has managed to get going again, but it will be Martin Lawrence that takes us up to the lights, and their green flag as they head towards turn 1. Buckets of spray being kicked off, but Andre Pastek has been spun round on the exit of the final corner. We'll have to wait and see if we can see what happens to him again. But because of that, Martin Lawrence in the Bentley has taken a commanding lead into turn 1 and hasn't really been challenged, Jack.
Yeah, no, not at all. I'm thinking though that that's a self-inflicted spin because
there's more contact in the background there. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, that's the 17.
I think that's the Porsche of Raphael.
That's Raphael Huel. Who's very much in the background.
Someone.
Who's he's up, down, he's kind of in the fight.
I apologise, it's Thibaut Roskamp into the back of someone.
Oh, it was. Oh, Kumpu's going for a late move. Oh, it's a drift. Oh, he keeps it together, though, some way, but he has to feed into the circuit very carefully here. He has to pretty much wait for there to be a clear bit of circuit.
That's Andre Pastek coming up behind him as well to be overtake, so he's managed to make up some ground. Well, we've got 2 cars off.
Bit too fast.
I think Nico Kumpu and Peter Varga, or Mike Redford, I'm not quite sure, because the timing screens in ACC aren't the best and they don't update until they go through a sector.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening. Everything else, Pastek off again.
Pastek's round.
I wonder, is he on dry tires? Possibly.
They can't be on dries.
Thibaut Roskamp is certainly in the pits. I know that Joe Dauber came out for a restart. Varga's through on the Nissan of Emo Play. Well, not through. They're side by side in the final corner. They're going to need to tickle that throttle pedal on exit to not spin it up, and they didn't. They're both through cleanly. Blake stays ahead. That was a lot.
Of the exit of the last corner as well. That is a lot. Nico Kumpu has recovered, but he's on the back of Mike Vauxhall now.
See, is it?
Whoa, big switch. He must be. Is he on dries? They can't be. Oh,
he's on.
Yeah, he's on dries. I don't understand why they've gone for dries.
I think it's a mistake in pit lane. It has to be.
They must have not loaded the right setup, or it's a glitch or something.
But Tebow's in the YouTube chat with us, simply saying, "I am an idiot." And Tebow, I wouldn't say that because clearly you weren't the only one that made that mistake. Allegedly. Trying to figure out who, if any, are on dries. Here's Olivier Kearton and Joe Dauber at the back of the field. Hopefully we'll be able to get you accurate tire information.
Well, I don't think Joe Dauber's on dries, but I imagine Kearton might be, because Kearton's lost out a lot, because obviously Joe Dauber started from the pit lane. So Dauber
he is on the back
end.
Oh, 2 cars off. That's Vauxhall Pastek again.
Is it?
Oh, no, that is
Philip Rear.
That is
Philip Rear's off. Now, have they crashed together, or have they spun sort of in a nice unison as they came out of that corner going up towards the corkscrew? I don't think we're going to be able to keep up with this, Jack.
I am already completely not keeping up.
Well, Martin Lawrence has checked out at the front. He's about a second and a half, 2.5 seconds. He gained another second in that sector, in the last sector alone.
Andy Portman's up to second at some point.
Second. Camperdix is up to third and is challenging third. Miso Stubner is in 4th. ML Platt is in 5th. Then you've got 3 Ferraris. You've got Varga, Redford, and Nico Kumpu rounding out the top 8. So it's all sort of changed from when we started. But Camperdix is right on the back of Andy Boardman.
It seems like not. I mean, we can confirm that these two are certainly on wet tires, and just seems a bit more confident. Maybe has a bit. Oh, I say that a bit more grip, but get a little out of shape on the exit here. We'll see how they deal with turn 6, which in the dry is a very fast, very committed corner, but in the wet, some poo.
So Timo Roskam's definitely on tries.
Yes.
And Joe Dorber, I believe, just forgot to click drive.
I'm wondering. I think that Nico Kumpu might be on. I think he has to be on wets because he would not have made it this long. Sort of kept it in. I'm wondering.
Looking at the timing screens, everyone from sort of Hugo Doobie down is sort of quite spread out, apart from Joe Dorber. So I'm wondering if everyone from like Hugo Doobie down is possibly on dries.
We have a car. Olivier Kierton's off, way in the back of the field. I just saw there's a brief yellow flag in that sector, and definitely this is the other Honda. Definitely struggling just a bit, and I'm wondering if for a lot of these drivers, I think Kumpu might be the best example of it. They had their eye in for qualifying, and they were sort of driving as if they were the same conditions. Maybe adding too much input, maybe hitting the brakes a little too hard, and okay, using all the circuit and then some for Philip, and but I think they just are sort of trying to get their eye in on the weather, and while doing their best to deal with it. It's very clear that Czech Jesus is living up to his name. Martin Lawrence is really the only driver that from the green flag has been comfortable, and that the Boatley is sailing forward.
I can say from having pushed one, it weighs a lot, so it's going to be quite good in the wet. I think we're getting some replays of what's happened. So you've got Curtin back off in the background there. That's Foxhall and Rhea trying to go around the outside. The BMW sort of skating in there, and I think that's Kevin Boss. Getting through. There's Curtin round in the background as Kevin is down in 13. And I'm trying to work out which cars these are.
That's Huel and I think it's Huel
that's
and
Roskam. Timo Roskam got sent into the back of the Honda.
Right.
So nothing really could do about it. The stewards, by the way, good time to shout the live stewards. They are all in their little box. Good time to shout them out.
Philip Rhea coming up to the corkscrew. Oh, just gets spun round by the 95. I think he did. Oh, and he spun again on the exit. I think he did get a touch.
We have had a retirement, a couple of retirements actually. One of them is a disconnect as well, which is unfortunate to see. We don't like to see that, but we have had one disconnect so far.
All right, here's some more race start. Assuming a little bit of contact. Yeah, a little bit of a bump into the back of the Aston Martin, but nothing doing. And for those of you who are curious where and how we're getting these replays from, generally our tool works off of when there's a change of position or contact. So that's what we're getting from that. And that's all that our replay tool is giving us. That's all we're able to go back and see. Oh, we have another one. We actually lied. It's Boardman. Oh, this is more from the start. Just a little bit of door bangs.
I don't think the stewards will care too much about door banging, especially in these sorts of conditions. But Boardman has come out on top over, I believe that was Nico Kumpu who was banging doors with us. Kumpu's down in 7. So Boardman is, as Ash Bibby says, loving life. Although he has lost 4 seconds off to Martin Lawrence in the opening 5 laps. He's, as I've been told reliably by Ash Bibby, driving with an injury. He's hurt his hand. I don't know which one it is, but he's hurt one of them. So he's doing quite well there to manage what's going on so far. Apparently I'm getting sent a picture of it, but you won't be able to see that. It's left hand, apparently. Ash Bibby's reliably informed us it's his left hand, unless the camera's flipped and it's actually his right. We'll never know.
Well, I can promise you either way, it's an impactful injury.
Well, it doesn't seem to be affecting him too badly, because he's keeping pace here with Camperdix behind him, and they're both pulling away from Miso Stubner.
Yeah, the field is reasonably already. Ooh, I think that's a. Ooh, that looks like a. We just got sent an image, and that looks maybe a bit of a broken finger. This is ring finger, which I will say, from at least how I hold the wheel, which I know some people do it differently. Ring finger isn't one of the ones that get used a whole lot. I change here with my middle fingers, and it's really if it's a middle finger, a pinky, or a thumb. I had a thumb injury not too long ago, and that made it a bit tricky. So, I mean, hats off to driving with an injury generally, especially in these conditions, and doing very well for it. This is Marvin Risenhauer with, well, it says it's Raphael Hughes behind him, but it isn't. Oh, he has just overtaken Redford.
Yeah, absolutely. And then they've got Raphael Hughes. He's about 5 or 6 seconds behind them.
Oh. It's, I think he went a bit deep there, but it's getting close for the fight for second position at the moment. These two just sort of seem to be ebbing and flowing between each other. I mean, Martin Lawrence is, well, ultimately just gapping the field. He is, well, in terms of fastest lap, him and Raphael Hughes are the only drivers in the 1 minute 30s, and Martin Lawrence's most recent lap was his best lap. So he's getting a little bit quicker, getting his eye in, and shipping himself around the circuit. But the field spread is
getting more wet.
Is allegedly. I mean, the rain is supposed to be increasing throughout the race.
I think the track can go up to very wet, can't it?
I think so, though
it's been a long time since I've raced on ACC in the wet. Yeah, I think we're both in the same boat where we both avoid the wet weather races. Although you've been saying about you've used one of our beautiful sponsors to sign up for some iRacing.
I have indeed.
See that segue? We are professionals. Someone hire us.
Beautiful. I was drinking my water.
Camperdix is down the inside of Andy Boardman. You can carry on drinking your water. He's going to try and hold it round the outside now, which I don't think is going to go too well. ACC camera's doing ACC camera things. He managed just to hold it, but Boardman just cuts the nose off before the right-hander and says, nope, not coming through here. But he's right on the back of Andy Boardman. And Andy Boardman's not slow. As we all know, he did win a couple of Monday series back-to-back fairly recently. So Camperdix is managing to stay on pace. Maybe he's one of them drivers who really likes it in the wet as
well. Possibly. I mean, we haven't seen too many wet races. It actually usually ends up that I missed a race because of my schedule. It usually happens to be on wet races. But he seems to be comfortable in the wet for sure. At least more comfortable than he was last week. Definitely was a bit off the pace, finishing towards the middle of the field last week. Excuse me. But no, these two are well, they're fighting hard, as if the rain's not inhibiting their ability to drive close to one another. I'm sure the view from inside Philip's car is, well, it's probably a little bit tough to see. You can see that amount of spray. Ooh, thinking about it. Into turn one again. Boardman's better on the brakes, though. Maybe going a bit deep. Is the door open? The door is open. Philip Camperdix slides on through. A little bit of a tap on the exit. I don't think anything that the stewards should be too concerned about. It is very wet after all, but here comes maybe Andy Boardman on the back. Here's a replay of that from the trackside cameras. Yeah, just leaves the door open.
Muscles his way through. Yeah, no, it's the line in the wet, so Boardman's chosen to elect to take the outside, so Camperdix can take the inside line, and as you can see on the right hand side of our screen, we have some penalties. So for lap 1 and turn 3, the 256, which is Nico Kumpu, gets a 10-second penalty for avoidable contact with Risenhauer, who is now directly behind him. And then in turn 8 on the same lap, we got another 10 seconds for car 95, which is Mark Redford. for avoidable contact going into the corkscrew, and that was with car number 7, who I believe has retired. Mike Redford, I'm sorry, I got the name wrong. I'm being shouted at by Ash Bibi, who I believe has retired. And then we've also got a penalty for car 7, but
up the line.
he has retired from the race, so that will just apply as a points penalty on their license. If you don't know, we run a system where if you get a certain amount of penalty points, you can't do championships for a certain amount of time, I think, isn't it? You have to miss one or something.
I believe
so.
Like that.
No one has
quite
ever
a while
got
since.
No one has ever got that far. I think that they've been banned from doing a championship in recent memory. I can't remember anyone ever getting that many points.
Ooh, Kumpu on Varga. He's thinking about it. Ooh, is he gonna go for it? He's thinking about it. Sort of holding that inside on Varga. Ferrari on Ferrari. Wet weather racing. Tucks back in. Varga. Ooh, shutting the door just a tad bit. Nico Kumpu's gonna have to work a bit harder. He does have the exit heading down towards the turn 5. He's very ahead. Got the move.
Whoa, big
Varga dives for the inside, but still makes the corner. It's going to be yet again. Oh, are they going to be side by side through turn 6?
Yeah, up to the corkscrew. I think Nico Kumpu's going to think better at this. Yeah, he does. He slides back inside. That was a big snap on the way through there as well for Nico Kumpu. But yeah, coming up towards that corner is, as you say, pretty high commitment of turn 6. As we hear the pit window is now open. So those of you who are on dry tyres, what are you doing? Get off.
I don't think anybody's on dry tires. There's no way. There's no way they'd make it around here. And
I think people were just looping it. I think maybe you've got to think that people will have had different TC and ABS settings if they were running dries in qualifying when it was damp. So maybe that's thrown them out. But yeah, I think it might just be the fact that the tyres are cold that causes substitution. I don't think I've seen that chaotic of an opening lap in ages.
I'd say it's been since multi-sprint season 2, Interlagos in the wet and at night. It was disgusting, as the move that Nico Kumpu is attempting to put on Peter Varga is a bit disgusting itself. Might go around the outside into 3. They're side by side. A short run 4. We'll see what it looks like. They're so dead even through these corners. It's Kumpu riding a bit.
Car.
It's almost like they're in the same car. He does go a bit wide, but here's Risenhauer joining the fray. As apparently I sound like an underwater robot. Callum, please take over.
You do a little bit, but I will take over while you sort out your issues. Yeah, Risenhauer joins the fray in the background. It's actually looking more like making a move on Nico Kumpu coming up towards the corkscrew. That's given Peter Varga a bit of breathing space, as hopefully Jack leaving and rejoining will join his issue. But no, it all stays stationed as they run through there. Just to update you, Martin Lorenk is now 10 seconds ahead of Philip Camperdix in 2nd place. Andy Bourbon is a further 2nd and a bit behind. And then Mr. Stubbs holding on quite well back onto the back of Andy Bourbon as you see the Bentley come through the first complex and power down towards the end of the first sector. But yeah, Misa Stubber is just sort of slowly gaining on Andy Bourbon as we see, I think that's Kevin Boss exiting the pit lane, and Risenhauer is in the pits, so the GCR there is a lap down, which might get in the way of Misa Stubber. Yeah, Kevin Boss you can see on the side of the score, the leaderboard there. If it's green, it means they have done their mandatory pit stop. So he has taken tyres and he has refilled 1 litre of fuel at a minimum. Jack is still working on coming back, so you've got my lovely voice for at least another lap or so. But Kevin Boss will try and not hold up Mr. Stubner as he comes through, as I think I just saw, yeah, that's another retirement. That was Olivier Curtin stopped at the side of the track, just where we're coming up to up here. So I think he might have had a bit of an off into the barrier on the outside. So we've got nothing to show on the replay tool, so we won't see it, but I'm sure we might find out. And if you're watching Olivier, just join us in here and say what happened. But we've got a bit of an incident. So this is Boardman and Camperdix coming through after the corkscrew. Camperdix touches the inside of the curb and it just unsettles the back end of that car, and he runs out and taps Andy Bourman. It's not intentional. It's just an accident. I think that will probably be how it's seen as by the stewards, but it's frustrating for Bourman there, and Kevin Boss has let Mr. Stubner get through, but he did lose about a second getting past the Dutch driver, so it's still all as it stands. Martin Lawrence still extending, so I imagine he'll try and go down the middle in terms of pit window. He seems pretty comfortable out in the front of the field. But who we got here? We've got Amo Platt, who has had a great race actually. He's just stayed out of trouble and made their way up to P5. And Peter Varga and Nico Kumpu still having their battle on ahead. Obviously, Nico Kumpu does have that 10-second time penalty to serve in the pit stops. So we'll see how well that goes. I'm also going to have a look to see if anything happens that people have posted in the chat. Andre Baztek, I think, from what he said, he was talking with his wife in the formation lap, and that's why he spun it. So top tip, if you're trying to do a formation lap in the rain around Laguna Seca, don't sit there and talk to someone. We have a few more penalties that have come through, but they all are racing incidents for minor contact, so I won't bore you with those as we've got cars coming around on screen. So ML Platt still holding about a second gap to Peter Varga in the background. That is our highest rated Nissan, as we have two others in the race. Joe Dorbus made his way up to 9th after that pit lanes, back of the field start, I should say. And Kevin Boss, after Philip Rare's pit stop, is now into 14th place. So we have lost about 4 cars from the start of the race, but seeing as it's a wet one, and we did have such a crammed lap 1, as you can see them taking the wet line through turn 1 there, that's not too bad, I don't think. But so far we are getting a little bit of bunching. Philip Rear is coming out of the pit lane here, so got stop and go 30, as I'm being told. Yeah, stop and go 30. So that is, we only give time penalties here with our live stewards, so that is for speeding in the pit lane. So either they've let the pit limiter go too early, or they didn't quite get it on in time and locked up the brakes. And I reckon that might not be the first one we see, especially with the weather as it is at the moment. It's going to be quite difficult for these guys to get it stopped in time. One thing you have got to remember is, typically when racing in real life, the pit lane is a lot wetter than the track because it doesn't have 15 cars clearing it up constantly. Nico Kumpu has got by Peter Varga, as we see shots of Hugo DB, our only BMW in this race. But yeah, Peter Varga has been nabbed by Nico Kumpu. I saw it switch on the timing board. And the tool is apparently not even showing us that. So it must have been quite a clean pass, no contact if it's not showing us that. But usually it does show us overtakes as well, so we can give you replays of them. But there's nothing there at the moment. So Peter Varga will just have to see how well he can hold on to the back, and if he can jump Nico Kumpu back in the pit stops. They've got 23 minutes still to make any of their stops that they want to make, as Jack is still working on fixing whatever his issue is with his bit of network latency, but I'm sure he'll be back. He might sound like a robot for a second, so do excuse us. But yeah, so far it's sort of settled back down. Obviously we had that massively chaotic start. As you can see, Joe Dorber there just sort of staying out of trouble. He's got a good back gap to the car behind him, Mike Redford, and Mike Redford does also have a 10-second time penalty. But he has got a long way to chase down the cars in front of Peter Varga. But anything can happen, especially with ACC pit stops, especially with this kind of weather. So we'll see. Raphael Huell is in the pit lane as we speak. He's just getting it slowed down and trundling along to his box now, I think. So he's being shown as pitting. As we see, he's already on his way out there. So there you can see the orange bollard. From there you can accelerate back up to racing speed and then follow the pit exit line. Sometimes you can. I don't know how strict it is around Laguna Seca, get a penalty if you run over the white lines as well on the exit of the pit lane. And Philip Rare is, I believe, served his stop-go penalty, but he is way down at the back of the field now. Unfortunate for him, he was sort of battling up and then got involved in a few incidents and then
It's the second stop go 30 we've seen in 2 races now, so not for him, but in terms of in general. And Nico Kumpu is not hanging around. He is trying to make a move around the outside into the turn 1 kink, coming down into turn 2 on the Andretti hairpin of ML Platt. But he is sort of shoved out wide there by the Nissan, and you can see here the guy's really trying to avoid the curbs. As it gets wetter and wetter, those things get slipperier and slipperier. But Nico Kumpu has also got to think that he has got Peter Varga right behind him, and Peter isn't going to want to just stay behind him. He is going to want to try and get back past it if he can. He knows he's probably going to do it in the stop. And if he can do it on track, it just gives him all the more time to maybe try and stretch out a bit of an advantage if he goes. If he thinks he's got a bit of a pace advantage on Nico Kumpu. I believe Kevin Boss is just up ahead of these guys because he's made his stop already. As we saw, he was one of the first people to make his pit stop, so expect him to sort of climb back up a little bit when everything evens out all over itself. I'm not seeing anyone jumping ahead at the moment, but Kevin, as we said, when he's not doing this, he's flying big 747s, as I think it's a cargo pilot, in and out of Holland, all over the world. I think he mainly covers the Middle East. He's mentioned to us that he's been in all sorts of weird and wonderful places, and sometimes he'll join us in the comms box before we go live, just to say hello from whichever hotel in the world he's in. Peter Varga has been given a drive-through penalty and is immediately back to the pit. So I have no idea what that's for, but I believe it's not been given by the stewards, or at least if it has, it's not on their chat. So I am not entirely sure what Peter Varga has been given a drive-through penalty for. Might be track limits if he's gone out wide too many times. But he's pulled over to the side of the road, so it's just Mo Platt versus Nico Kumpu now, and Mo Platt still defending against the Ferrari behind him. I've got Joe Dorber, who is going to be hunting them down, especially if he feels like he's got a bit of pace here. Don't get too confused, that isn't Joe Dorber right behind. Oh, is Mo Platt and Nico Kumpu both go off coming in through turn 6. I think probably Mo Platt's missed his braking point, and then Nico Kumpu's sort of following him off with it. But Nico Kumpu manages to sort of have a better run, sorry, turn 5, my apologies, have a better run through the gravel, and Mo Platt loses the position there. So, you know, it doesn't have to be an overtake on track. You can, you know, force someone else into a mistake, as you see there. Oh no, actually Nico Kumpu's gone into the back of him there. I don't know if either of them were making the corner as it stands, but that one will definitely be being looked at by our team of stewards. It's nice to have them back as well. We mentioned it last week that we've got these guys looking over every bit of the race. We have a really good stewards team here who overlook all the little different incidents, and well, if they don't catch something, the drivers can report it at the end of the race for a review from one of our stewards. We'll look at it and apply a post-race penalty if needed. There's a car coming out the pit lane there, which is the BMW. That's Hugo Duby, who has had a bit of a quiet race. I think he was one of them drivers that was struggling earlier on. But Kevin Boss is there as well in between. I think Hugo Duby's going to come out. He's come out behind Kevin Boss and Amal Platt there, so not going to be holding up the driver who hasn't pitted. As Mike Foxall goes from, looks like he was shaping for a move there, down into the inside of the corkscrew. But that is on Raphael Huell. Raphael Huell won't be taking anything lying down. He is not the sort of driver you can catch napping. He's a very, very fast driver. I think, again, one of them that got caught up in earlier incidents and just sort of maybe just struggling in the wet. The Porsche is a very difficult car to drive at any point with rear end traction because the engine hangs out over the back end, which means that once it starts sliding, it's a pretty difficult car to catch. So he's doing quite well. He's currently, I think, our only Porsche left in the race. We started with 2, so one of them has retired from the session. We've still got 15 cars running though. As your mid-race standings at the moment, you've got Martin Laurent in first place, followed by Philip Camperdix, Andy Boardman rounding out the top 3, Miso Stubner in 4th place, Nico Kumpu is in 5th but with a 10-second time penalty and is only 2 seconds ahead of ML Platt. Joe Dorber's a further 5 and a bit seconds behind them, followed then by Mike Redford in the Ferrari, Peter Varga, Raphael Huell, Mike Foxall, and then Reisenhauer, Kevin Boss, Hugo Duby and Philip Breyer have all made their pit stops at the back end of the field. That's your 15 cars as they run 30 minutes in to the race. Jack, are you back, or are we seeing if we can see if you sound like a robot or not? But if you haven't fixed anything, no worries. We are going to an onboard experience while these guys go and see if they can test Jack's microphone. So you are stuck with me and Martin Lorenk on board.
I think we're good, gentlemen, actually.
I think we are good. You sound crystal clear, mate. So
well, I might actually go shortly. I don't know.
Okay.
Discord is doing something that it hasn't done. 6+ months I've done broadcasting here, and everything is going absurd. So at the moment, we're okay. All I had to do to fix it was join a different voice channel and then come back.
That is a Discord thing. I've had that happen to me before.
I did everything else. I reconfigured my networking. Like, I did all kinds of crazy stuff. I turned it off and turned it back on. But now we're here, fortunately, and I missed a lot.
You did miss quite a lot. You sound good though so far, but you did miss quite a lot. So I'll give you a bit of a rundown. Martin Lorenk's still in first. Camperdick's overtook, I believe. I think you might have missed that. Boardman to get second place. Boardman is actually now pitted as well, so he's down in 9th place, but he's the first of the cars that have pitted. Miso Stubbin is still holding on in 3rd, and Nika Kumpu in 4th. We did have a drive-through penalty as well for. I can't remember who off the top of my head now, and I can't rewind to find out. But I think it was for track limits. ML Platt was having a massive battle with Nico Kumpu, I think it was, and ended up just going straight on. I believe, Jack, your thing's broken again. While they sort that out, and we go, I believe we're going to be stuck with looking at Miso Stubner while Bibby looks at this. I'm just going to take... No worries. Bibby and Jack are just trying to sort out Jack's network issue. So we've just got a bit of an onboard experience, and I think everyone's going to go quiet for a bit. So just enjoy seeing what's going on with the system.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I apologize for tech issues because, when everything's going well, something has to break. So I apologize for that. It sounds like we're also having a bit of issues on our Twitch stream. For that, we apologize. And unfortunately, there is nothing we can do about it because on our end, everything is fine. Everything is coming through cleanly. So that would be an issue with Restream, which is what the service that we use to stream simultaneously here on YouTube and here on Twitch. So if you're on Twitch and you're confused why it just went black, please join us on YouTube. Everything is going wonderfully. I apologize. Hopefully that's something that won't happen next time, though it sounds like there's not much to be done. But Callum, thank you for holding down the fort. You are an incredible and beautiful human being, and we would be nowhere without you.
Tell me something I don't know. What I do know, actually, Jack, is Miso Stubborn has pitted from 3rd place. Nico Kumpu has also been given a further 5-second time penalty while you've been enjoying your Miso Stubner on board for an incident on lap 17, I believe turn 5, which is with him and car 71, who is Mo Platt. So it was the overtake with contact. So that we saw Nico Kumpu just sort of tap the back of Mo Platt coming into turn 5, as we see a replay here. Just sort of gets it wrong under brake, and we saw them both go off. And Nico Kumpu just gained the position from that due to having a bit of a better run on the gravel and off on the sort of side road, exit road there off the track, the recovery road. So Nico Kumpu has been given a 5-second penalty, but Mo Platt has made his pit stop. So we'll have to see where that ends them up with Nico Kumpu obviously now having 15 seconds to be sat stationary extra in the box than anyone else.
Yeah, that's gonna definitely be a bit of an issue for our current championship leader. It's interesting because I've never seen a race where Nico Kumpu just seems to be out of control. Like it's almost a bit clumsy. I mean, at the race start, we were thinking that he was on dry tires because of the sort of, lack of finesse and sort of waywardness of his drive. It seems like it's mostly been sorted out now, but I mean, still getting a couple penalties here and there, and it's just gonna make this race quite a bit harder. The good news, if there is any, is his championship rival is, well, no longer here. That being Andrzej Batek, one of his championship rivals. Raphael Huel's another one, and he's not having, well, I would say he's not having the greatest race. He's actually having a perfectly acceptable race given the conditions. So, I mean, it could be worse as far as championship hopes coming into round 2, Callum, but it could be better. It could be better for Nico Kumpu.
Martin Lawrenc's going to be up there, obviously. Ignore the fact that Nico Kumpu is currently running in 2nd. He will drop down when he makes his pit stop and serves that penalty. Martin Lawrence, obviously, with presumably a decent points finish here. We have just commentators cursed him, so sorry, Martin. Yeah, so I think we do a drop score. We have done it in previous championships. I can't remember if it's active in this one. I would have to check. Or I believe, Jack, you're texting whether it is or isn't in the chat now anyways.
It is.
It is.
Actually about something else.
Oh, okay, no worries. I'll see what that is in a moment. So yeah, so that will be taken as a drop score. Philip Rare with that little off-track excursion there. I believe either trying to get out of the way or getting it a bit wrong going through the corkscrew has just been given a drive-through penalty for his troubles. That wasn't me, Jack, so I don't know what that was.
Well, then don't worry about it. Everything's fine. Now, I'm going to assume that's a track limits violation or a very minor speeding infraction for Philip Rare. Did he just come out of the pits? I'm still... Oh, no, that would be track limits then, for sure. That's track cuts. Too many of them. 3 of them to be... Well, 4 of them to be precise is going to get Philip Rare a drive-through. It's a bad day for Lexus, I got to say. I mean, one of them's no longer driving. And the other one is, well, I think he's driving. He is driving. He's still going, but he is several laps down from the field.
Joe Dorber has just pitted from 3rd place. So that car that started from the back made it all the way up to 3rd before his pit stop, and they've still got another 7 minutes to go. Martin Lawrence hasn't pitted yet. So he's out in the race lead with 24-lap-old tyres, and is still lapping quicker than everyone else. So it's quite impressive. He has only got 6.5 nearly 7 minutes to do so. So we'll be in the next sort of 4 laps or so, I'd say, Jack.
Yeah, I think he's just really comfortable right now, and may as well keep carrying on. I mean, his lap times have sort of dropped a bit. I think maybe the track has gotten a bit more damp. Times generally across the board are about 2 seconds slower than previous bests set earlier in the race session. And it is worth noting the other two that have in box, Nico Kumpu and Mike Redford. I can pretty much guarantee that their thought is, well, we're going to be stationary for an extra while. May as well stay out as long as we can. Hopefully put as much distance as we can, let the field spread out so when they come into pit lane, it won't be as catastrophic. That can work. That can also not work in the driver's favor, depending on their pace on those old tires. And we'll see where they feed out once they stop, which should be, has to be in the next 6 minutes. Still Martin Lawrence in the lead, as we said, the Boatley. I'm almost afraid to see the pace in the dry. I feel like it is usually quite good in the wet, but I would hope a bit deep for Redford. Everybody's sort of still struggling a bit into turn one. It's a tricky braking zone. I'm sure even if you've had limited experience. Laguna Seca, you know how it is. It's a big braking zone, and it's also a downhill braking zone.
Yeah, it's not the easiest of braking zones for anyone to do, especially when you're in the wet. It doesn't make any braking zone quite difficult. So we've seen a couple of drivers getting caught out on the brakes there, as Martin Lawrence does inevitably come into the pit lane as we were talking about him. So he has pitted from the lead, so we'll see where he filters out. I will imagine it's going to be in at least one of the top 3 positions. It's whether or not he's got enough to stay ahead of Nico Kumper, or if Nico's going to follow him in. And we will see what happens there. Nico stays out, so Nico does take the race lead, but he does have to stop and serve a 15-second time penalty when he does pit. So, like you said, he will probably try and stay out as long as possible and just see if anything big happens behind him, so that he can capitalise on.
Yeah, hopefully. I'm going to imagine he's going to maybe push it. Him and Redford are going to push it till the end of that pit window and then serve their penalty. But Nico, this is a sight that we're, not quite used to seeing as far as this series is concerned. I mean, it is only round 2, but I can pretty much guarantee that it's not going to be the last time we're going to see Nico Kumpu in the lead of this race. After all, he hasn't pitted. He has that 15-second penalty, as we've been talking about. But, maybe it applies a bit of confidence for Nico, being like, hey, it does say 1 at the top left of my screen. Maybe I'm doing all right. Redford is also in third. Shows the pace that Martin Lawrence had on Redford. He came out ahead after the stop, and it's a minute-long pit stop for those of you who are curious. And, well, it's interesting. Well, actually, I know why. I was going to say I can't see most of the field's pit stop times, but that's because networking. That's okay. It seems that the pit stops are around a minute 3, minute 4 seconds, and that's how they were for everybody else. But Nico Kumpu and Mike Redford are going to have a bit longer than that. Huel now on the back of Miso Stubna. I feel like generally,
Whoa, that was a
wiggle.
That
was a good slide. I was going to say, I feel like generally the Porsche tends to be a good car in the wet, just because there's more weight over the rear of the car, being rear-engined, and
but it does also have that effect of when you do lose the rear end, it's even harder to catch. So
absolutely true.
If you've got a stable enough platform underneath you and a good setup, it will be. But however, you've got to have a decent wet weather setup underneath you to be able to utilise the basically the benefit of that car in the traction zones.
Definitely. And I think Raphael Huel's a driver that I think he knows how to set up a car in ACC. He's been doing it for long enough, and he's a very, very skilled driver. So I think, generally he'd be all right. If that slide's any indication. If it goes wrong, he can catch it as well. 17 minutes remaining in this race so far. And
Ooh, Lorenk's off.
Lorenk is off. That.
Don't think it's going to make any big impact to the race result. Let's put it that way. But he is human.
So. He is human. There is a
mistake in him. Yeah.
For check Jesus. Which, you know,
Kumpu's in the pits.
Jesus made some mistakes too. So.
Jesus did make some mistakes. Like trusting the Romans.
on that note, I'm gonna quickly and nervously change the subject there. We tackle a lot of things on RCI broadcast, but I don't think today is going to be the day where we attempt to tackle religion
or the Middle East.
Okay. I'm going to talk about some of the people that help us do what we do here at RCI. Those, of course, are our wonderful partners. And that's a Lamborghini. That's Mike Foxhole in the background of Huel and Stubna's fight. And because I started talking about our partner, that's a drift, and just that's touching the sort of gravel, the mud almost. It's not really grass. And manages to get it back around. Not a good day for the Lamborghini driver, which it's always a sad day for me to see a Lamborghini struggling. I love that car. Deeply and intently, here's Huel thinking about it on Stubna. It's surprising how many cars are trying to go around the outside of turn.
Get ready for 15 minutes of side-by-side action, so Jack can't do his sponsor read till after the race.
Yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen. And that's what I was
getting
ready to start saying. He does have the good line. He seems to have the run. Let's see who's better on the brakes. They're about equal. Pit is now officially closed, but fortunately everybody's done with their pit stops.
And move that.
It was a very tidy move from Raphael Huel. Maybe Stubna thinking about getting in the mirrors early, being like, hey, I'm still here.
Oh, that's a car round. Someone's round. Who's that? That's the 573. That is... Oh, it's Camperdex. It's the Honda.
It is Camperdex. Yeah, that was a loss of a couple of positions. And, yeah, just a late spin at turn 6.
So he's probably got on the Astro there on the exit. And Astro, it's slippery sort of when it's dry, normally. You can use it, but in the wet, it's a do not touch. You will
skating
sort of insta-spin. But, yeah. So Camperdex just, I think just ran out too wide through turn 6? I think it's turn 6.
Turn 6?
Turn 6. Racetracks confuse me.
Least favorite corner.
Seeing as I'm a race engineer, they probably shouldn't. I should probably know by now. But I don't race in America, so well, not yet. If there are any race teams watching and you would like me to be your data engineer in America, I take payment in cash, in non-sequential numbers on the bills, or in postal checks.
I think. Oh, what's that? Oh, I think I hear race teams lining up at my door to sign you.
Why are they at your door?
Because I'm in the U.S. and it's easier for them to get to my door than it is to get to your door, and everybody knows that you and I are affiliated. I walk around on the street
and goes, "Oh, that's Jack. Wait, that's Callum Kerwin's commentator friend."
Exactly. Yes, I hear it regularly, and it's just some stars outshine others.
You don't have that kind of pull in the UK, I don't think. So.
Well, that much I can understand. I'm a bit of I can be a
it does
polarizing
mean,
figure.
Though, Andy Boardman is inherited second, and Raphael Huel with that move on Miso Stubna is now in 3rd place. So that was effectively a battle for a podium, but we didn't even know it.
Yeah, it happened just after the move, and well, I'm looking at the track map, I'm looking at the timing screen, I'm looking at everything. It seems there's a big enough gap for the moment that I can start talking uninhibited, getting back to some of our wonderful partners, and obviously, after when I'm talking about them, as I'm talking about them, any of them sound interesting, everyone's in the link below. So check them out there. Support the people that support us, such as Ready Set Sim, our sim rig building partner, where you can build the sim rig of your dreams or your budgets in seconds with their RSS Sim Builder. Wonderful tool to get you acquainted with everything you might want when building a rig, or just daydreaming and being like, if I had billions of dollars, what rig could I buy? Head over to Ready Set Sim using the link below. If you're looking for new direct drive hardware, might I recommend our friends over at Moser Racing for high quality direct drive hardware that doesn't break the bank. Not just racing gear, mind you, they also have trucking gear and flight sim gear to get you all started. So head over to them. I am a big fan of Moza. I use a Moza rig, and it's lovely. Simple as that. And if you're looking to increase your speed, maybe find some more pace on the racetrack, head over to Coach Dave Delta. I feel like Coach Dave is synonymous with the sim racing scene, and everybody knows about CDA setups and what they can do for your comfort. And days like today, especially, where not many people I could imagine have setups ready to go for Laguna Seca in the wet, but I know who does. Coach Dave. They'd get you sorted for all of your favorite sim titles, iRacing, ACC, LMU, including Gran Turismo 7, which I find surprising, but also pretty cool. So head over to them, and if you're looking to pick up some PC gaming titles on the cheap, for some good deals, head over to Green Man Gaming. Super exciting savings on brand new and existing titles, not just some titles, of course. Everything in the entire world. You're looking to get into the worlds of virtual reality when it comes to racing or otherwise. Head over to Pimax, our VR partner. And also, if you head using our link in the description, you will get a bit of a discount. Couple of bucks off some of the most high quality, class leading clarity virtual reality headsets. They are very cool. They are very great. And of course, thank you to Motorsport UK for having us as a recommended partner. And special shout out to them for them beginning my journey of ruining my wallet, because I now have a yearly subscription to iRacing, and I got it for very cheap by signing up through Motorsport UK. You get a year of iRacing and an F4 car for absolutely free by subscribing to their Esports Pro subscription tier thing. So that's good.
It's a very good deal.
It is a very.
It's a very good deal.
It is. I will say. It
for
is
it
new.
out
What I'm thinking of, new accounts only. So if you have an existing account, you cannot do that. If you were thinking about your foray into
Eisenhower has been given a drive-through, I presume, as they've all made their stops. This is another one for track limits. That's him off. I
not
believe.
The line.
Imagine you've just crashed and then you get the thing pop up saying drive-through for track limits.
Ooh,
wow, we lost it under braking there. That's a big speed impact. I think that car might be done, Jack. But
that car is done for Risenhauer.
Yep. That's a DNF for Risenhauer as he retires from the race. Come join us in here. You've got another 8 minutes and 22 seconds of two men narrowing about cars as they go around on screen. Sometimes we say some funny things. We've had, I think, 5 cars DNF now, Jack.
I believe so, yeah, 5 cars. We had one at the very beginning. That was Thibaut Roskam, who made the unfortunate mistake of starting a wet race on dry tires and just didn't feel like suffering a race from the back of the grid, effectively, or having to deal with getting a lap done to actually get to the pit lane. But yeah, that was our first, and I'll be honest, I don't entirely remember the rest, and or was it
a couple happened when you were sorting out network issues. I think it's mainly just been caused by penalties, etc., and people just having incidents on their own, and just deciding that it's not worth the fix, and that they're not having fun. As we always say every week, this is all about having fun. So if you're not having fun, there's nothing wrong with stopping and coming and watching here instead. But do come and watch here instead, and just laugh at when other people spin, because that's what I do.
Exactly. You can point and be like, haha, that wasn't me, because I did that earlier.
Joe Dorber is still holding off Nico Kumpu in that mighty GTR.
Yeah, he is indeed. I feel like this was almost a fight that was looming last week, if not for the stop and go for Joe Dauber. But well, maybe not exactly this fight, but it was something that was certainly possible. Because Dauber had so much pace last week at Indianapolis. Started from the back of the grid, as Dauber liked to do, and made it up to, I think, 4th before the pit started cycling and he got that stop go. And certainly would have been fighting for a podium. And well, I said at the top of the show that we'd maybe be seeing some big swings in the championship, and I do believe I was a bit correct, because if things stay as they are, Raphael Hewell will be leading the championship after this race. Boardman will probably...
Serious napkin math you've been doing.
Ah, well, I just know that Kumpu's there, Batek isn't here, Hewell's up there. It's easy after round one.
Batek was one of our early retirements. I don't know if you heard, Jack, why he spun out on the formation lap.
I did hear that, and okay. I really wish I was there, because I was going to make a joke about being married.
You can make it now if you want. Or is the time gone?
I feel like the time's gone.
He'll watch it back, because he'll want to see his laugh.
I could be. I don't even. In the moment, I was gonna come up with something, but I've also now since forgotten it after quite literally running to the 2 other people that are in my apartment and asking for help, and because I was furiously trying to get back to the broadcast, because things were super interesting. And,
hey, at least you didn't have to reinstall Windows while we had them in downtime.
That's true. That's true.
Issues. Was it the server? I think the server broke, didn't it, or something?
I don't remember.
We very rarely have to restart here, but we did have to have a race restart, which was fortunate because
I saw that.
Well, no plats around.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, noises are happening.
It is a GTR. That's a drift machine. Everybody knows. That is a.
Someone put some intense Eurobeat on while he goes around that. There you go, Callum. There's one for your replays on Instagram.
Yep. There you go. And I really hope that if you add this and edit it, you will leave in us talking about how you should make it a thing. And I know he's going to be upset watching this back. If you get to this part, Callum, sorry.
Hi, Callum.
I didn't. Hi. And second off, sorry, I don't have very many timestamps for you. When everything happened, it was the start of the race and we couldn't keep up. And then I had about 15 to 20 minutes.
Jack, I'm going to say he'll keep that bit in, because I'm going to say now that he spells his name wrong. It should be with a C and not a K.
Ooh.
And that's definitely getting cut. So
I hope that you guys end up in the box together and you can scream.
We do. Sometimes we do.
We
have done it from time to time, and it's confused the hell out of whoever's broadcasting. Because they'll say, "Callum, do this." He's in the chat and say, "Cheers, crying now." Sorry, Callum. Oh, Nico Kumpu's round.
Oh no. He's got a bit of a gap,
he's
though.
He's got 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Varga's just coming up to turn 6 now. He's just come out of turn 5. So.
Yep.
That's a great shot.
Replay. Oh, it's just immediately on turn-in.
Yeah, I think it asked too much of it on the way in, and it just maybe hit a puddle and just didn't like that.
Yeah, that was similar to what Emma Plate did a lap ago, except not quite as
Japanesey.
Can you say that? I don't know.
Yeah.
Moving on.
It's not a slur. Yeah.
We can't
I
say
think I'm
anything.
going to get less told off for saying the word Japanesey than you did for whatever the hell happened last week.
Yeah.
Did Jesse Lee come and
shout right. No, actually, no one did.
Oh, wow. Jeez.
No one did.
You can tell they don't watch all of these back. Jesus Christ.
Hey. To our wonderful broadcast lead's credit, he is an incredibly busy man.
He is. He's a lovely man. I do appreciate it whenever he sends me a message.
I think he's going back to, he's either preparing to go back to the other side of the world or is currently in the process of being on the other side of the world, that being in Japan. He is currently on the other side of the world.
That only makes sense if you live in America. Because both of them
so
are
you
the
wouldn't,
side of the world to us.
it makes sense for you, though. You know what I mean. Would you not consider Japan as the other side of the
Mike
world?
Foxall has, yeah, but I'd also consider America. Mike Foxall has been given a drive-through penalty, presumably again
Just across
for track limits.
a large river called the Atlantic Ocean. It's not that far.
Not if you're in LA, you're not.
Yeah, but I'm not in LA because I don't hate myself.
I mean, it's shots fired at someone. I don't know who, because I don't live in LA. So
I don't know anyone that lives in California. So, if any of you do, love you, kind of. Florida, I like Florida.
Isn't Laguna Seca in California?
Yeah, we're currently broadcasting a circuit that does exist.
I didn't know if it was California or Nevada. I know it's like nearish the border. I think.
Yeah, no, it's in California. It's in a kind of a weird part of California because anybody that lives in LA, when they think about driving a circuit, a lot of people will be like, "Oh, you probably go to Laguna Seca, right, for track days." You end up going to Willow Springs. It is significantly closer.
Yeah, but everything in America is miles away from everything else because it's massive.
Okay, and that's true. I will say though about Laguna Seca, it's actually been under quite a bit of scrutiny for many years because people have gone and built houses right around the circuit, and then those people have then complained incessantly about the amount of noise that you get from a race circuit.
We have Donington Park coming up. I have a worse one than that. We have that at Brands Hatch as well in the UK. Donington Park has a 98 decibel noise limit, which is loud, but it's not like, Donington Park is used for a lot of historic testing and stuff as well. So there are loud things that go around there a lot. Donington Park has a 98 decibel limit. The track is on the exit fly path of East Midlands Airport. So you'll have a 98 decibel noise limit, but a plane will fly over your head every 5 minutes. Don't understand how that's the race circuit's the problem.
Yeah. No, I could go on about this for another hour, but fortunately we're on the final lap, so you don't have to hear me.
If you buy a house near a race circuit, stop complaining that it's noisy.
I agree.
There's a race circuit there, and it's been there for 50 years.
Exactly.
Martin Lawrence going to win this race. I've said it.
I agree.
We are on the final lap. He has only got a few more corners to go.
Jesus has made another miracle happen.
Jesus in the Boatley has...
Is this the second coming of Martin Lawrence? Maybe. Today has certainly been a miracle of a drive. It's good to have him back in Monday, I must say, for sure. And just an incredible drive. He didn't have to work as hard as he did because his rival at the start spun. But, well, Martin Lawrence has gone and won the thing. And it's still a hard fight for second and third, leaving it to the very last lap. Oh, Hugh might be thinking about it around the outside. Boardman going super defensive, but he can't push him wide. Oh, it is going to be in the final corner. Hugh's on the inside.
Boardman's braving the brakes.
Oh, it's very late.
He's going to hold it around the outside. Who's got the better power coming down to the line? I think it might be Raphael
Oh, it's going to be really close.
He's going to have a short run.
Oh, it's going to be really close. It's Raphael Huell who crosses the line.
By 119 thousandths of a second.
That was really good. Really respectful racing down to the final.
Nisa Stubner finishes in 4th place, and Philip Camperdix, unfortunately for him, finishes in 5th after that sort of spin coming through. I think it was turn 6, wasn't it, that he had. He was looked on pace today.
From the back of the grid.
Celebrating. Nico Kumpu is going to finish in 7th.
Or former championship. Well, he's technically still leading the championship as the points haven't been tallied up. Is finishing 7th. Peter Varga, another good drive. He sort of was talking about in our interview last week that maybe he didn't feel like he deserved to be racing as high as he did.
Oh, Joe Dolby's showing us disqualified. I don't know about that. Okay, that won't count, I believe, because it was after it went over the line.
Okay.
I think it was spinning around at the end of the race. Also, a thought goes out to Callum Kerrigan, who had just made the top 3 graphic, and then Huell went and nicked it on the line. So he's now got to redo that.
You hear that, Raphael Huell? Callum Kerrigan's mad at you, but I'm not, because that was fantastic.
Great.
Very well done. A topsy-turvy race, certainly not a boring one. And extremely good stuff in the wet here in California at Laguna Seca. Martin Lawrence, Czech Jesus, has just gone and lived up to the name, driven beautifully in the wet, not worried at all, very little mistakes, a fantastic drive. Raphael Huell got second place literally by, well, 100th, almost 200ths of a second over Andy Boardman. A fantastic fight that almost came out of nowhere right to the very end. Andy Boardman, his first podium of the season, dare I say, not the last. I think he's getting to grips with the Ferrari 296. Miso Stubna is in fourth, and Philip Camperdix is in fifth. Joe Dauber, it shows him 19th down there. We're just going to assume that that isn't going to be actually applied and valid. He may have done a bit too much silly business at the end of the race. So we'll assume that he is in sixth position. Nico Kompu, seventh. Peter Varga, eighth. Emma Plate, ninth. Mike Redford, 10th. Kevin Boss, 11th. And that's all you get. Because
Andy Boardman's here.
I couldn't see. Andy
Well, we
Boardman
can't
is
see. Andy
here.
Boardman is here. Hello, Andy. Are you with us?
Hello. Yeah.
Hello. Are we feeling a bit frustrated there because Raphael Huell has, I believe the term is mugged you off?
Yeah. I mean, he was quicker than me. I was watching how far behind he was, and I was trying my best not to make any mistakes. Pretty much the entire race. That was my main goal because with it being as wet as it was, I figured if I could just keep it on the track, I'll get a decent finishing point. And yeah, he was catching me up, and I thought I might just be okay, but yeah, what was it? 0.19
Yeah,
seconds.
less
Just
than two
yeah,
hundredths of a second he did you by.
yeah, fair play. I mean, it was a good race, so yeah. He spun. I think he spun out in front of me on lap 4, I think it was. So he would have been in front if he hadn't spun out. I imagine I wouldn't have caught him up.
Yeah, it seemed like a pretty tricky race out there. Like you said, it was just keeping it on the black stuff. I know you had cars spinning off on the formation lap in front of you and everything. How did you find an hour in the wet around Laguna Seca, and will you be having words with Kevin Boss if he puts it on the calendar again?
I don't. It's not a track that comes up very often, to be honest. I'm not even sure if I've raced here in GT3s in the wet. This might be the first time ever, maybe. But yeah, I mean the result was good, so I can't complain really. It's one of my better results recently, anyway. So, but yeah, there's no complaints here from me.
Nice to see. Are you back next week? I think we're back to well, I'd say normal sky conditions, but if you're in the UK, this is probably what you'd say normal is. But I think we're avoiding the wet next time out. But you're going to see you back next week and sort of see if you can mount a championship off a solid podium, I guess.
Yeah, I'll be racing next week. Yeah, for sure. Congrats to Martin as well for winning. Obviously, it was as usual in a league of his own. Really, he was way out in front. So yeah, congrats on the win to him.
Nice to see you back though. Well done, a solid race, and looking forward to seeing you at Donington Park next week. Well done, Andy and Jack. You have our next one
I
lined up,
do.
prepped and ready to go.
I do. And as quickly as Andy Boardman finished, there was one that finished just a little bit quicker than him. Raphael Huell. What a finish. That was incredibly good and incredibly respectful racing to the line. And congratulations on another second place.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, those last laps were rough. Really tried to catch up, and in the end, the traction of the Porsche won.
Yeah, I talked about it during the race. I was like, generally a Porsche is a good call in the wet just because it's got that big old flat six sitting over the rear tires, so traction is good. And is that seems to be ringing true? I mean, we caught a bit of a slide in turn 6 that you managed to catch up, but so for the most part, it was feeling fairly controlled, fairly drivable.
Yeah, except for lap 1, I think. got a little bit of damage in the rear, and I think that shifted the balance a bit more than I thought. And then after the corkscrew and the left hand, I just lost it a bit. Bit disappointed because I think I could have at least tried to stay with Lawrence and try to get the win there, but in the end, still a fun race.
Yeah, it's I as I said, the same thing stands as I said to you last week. I'm just waiting for the day where you're on the top step because I know it's not an if, it's a when, and you know one of these days, and I'm whether or not you're aware of it, you are currently now leading the championship. Is that I mean, do you feel it is round 2 after all? But are you feeling confident that if things sort of keep carrying on the way they are, you might be within a shout of taking home the big trophy?
Yeah,
Big
I think
virtual
if I
trophy,
stay
just to be clear.
consistent, yeah, I'll take you for that. I want a PNG
Oh,
at the
no.
end.
No, no.
No, but I think
I'll find a good one.
if I can stay consistent and I don't even have to get a win, just have the others have but some bad luck, and although a win wouldn't hurt, definitely, but yeah, we'll see. I'm very open. Let's see what happens.
Oh well, I again, congratulations on another P2. Maybe next week, one step higher. Maybe sometime by the end of this season for sure. But you know, congratulations on that. Congratulations on being our championship leader going into round 3. And are you with us next week? You crossing your fingers?
I hope so. Yeah.
Well, if we see you, mighty looking forward to it. And good luck prepping for hopefully a much simpler race overall. It's Donington, it's dry. I'm not sure if there's any weird and absurd craziness that Kevin Boss could throw our way. So best of luck on your prep and congratulations again.
Thank you.
Mr. Peter Varga, are you with us?
Mentally or physically?
Either, whichever you prefer.
We'll take
I'll
one.
be here. I'll be here in spirit.
How was that for you? Talk us through that, because that seemed like a bit of a crazy race in general for everyone. So talk us through your sort of experience of the last hour or so.
I'm gonna say I had better days when I was at work doing work than today. The weather was not really friendly, shall I say, to many people. Me and Emma, it was basically just a race of who is going to make less mistakes and lose less time with them. But yeah, only thing that pained me the most with the tractor is because apparently, if you go wide and lose a second or like half a second, you still get a warning. So nice job, Kunos. You have truly left this game in a wonderful state. But other than that, I mean, I was the qualifying especially was just like who is going to get to the best conditions, and then afterwards the race first lap. I guess you guys saw it as well. It was just nothing, just a wall of spray all the time. I was just looking everywhere around the track, like, okay, where am I? Where is the corners? Where is the braking points? And afterwards, it was just mostly like hot lapping and trying to keep the cars behind because the pace was relatively similar. It was mostly about that, yeah, keeping the car on the track.
Hey, I mean, it threw up a great race for us guys. We couldn't. If you go watch it back, me and Jack could not speak quick enough to keep up with what was going on the first lap. I think we're both going to need to lie down after this, as are you guys probably as well, because it seemed really tricky to manage it as well. Obviously, in the Ferrari, it's not like the Porsche where it's got the engine hanging over the rear, but it may be a bit more predictable than, say, a front or a rear engine car in the way it handles in the wet. Correct me if I'm wrong though.
I mean, yeah, she is pretty predictable. You know what is going to happen when what you do. But yeah, it was very hard, especially at the end when the heaviest rain hit. It was just so slow, and I felt at some points like I'm just crawling around some of those corners, trying to keep the car pointing forward and just trying to keep up some sort of speed through the mid corner. But yeah, it it was fine.
Looking forward to Donington. I know that finishes our sort of American leg at the start of this now, and then we got Donington, the Red Bull Ring, so 2 European circuits. How do you find Donington in GT3s? I think it's something that's come up a couple of times before.
Qualifying is gonna be key for Donington for sure, considering like it's a very narrow circuit. It's very hard to overtake. There's not that many straight line, like longer straight lines. So qualifying is gonna be key, and then just maybe forcing someone into mistake here and there. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I kinda enjoy it. I have to say, like it's pretty fine on GT3s. Track limits are again gonna be a thing to watch out for the race, especially in the chicane. But that's for the next week.
Yeah, well, best of luck with your practice for next week. Thanks for joining us and coming in and saying hello after the race, and hopefully see you battling up the front again next week at Donington Park. Jack, that was probably the busiest we've been, I think, for a race. We didn't even manage to get any shenanigans in.
That's very true, and I'm actually very disappointed in some way. We missed out on any sort of fun facts. We missed out on me gushing about the Rolex 24, which maybe is a good thing, but I'm probably going to save for next week because I'm an excitable person and I enjoy motor racing. As it's probably fairly obvious because I show up here at every opportunity. Final piece of news on round two is that unfortunately the penalty that Joe Dauber received at the end of the race does in fact stand. It sounds like there's
Wow.
nothing that the stewards can do to clear it. I'm not sure if there's anything that can be done once scores are posted. I can't say for sure. Not sure how that's going to be handled. But as far as we are aware today, and as far as we can see, fortunately, Joe Dauber will finish. Well, he won't finish technically. He will be at the very back of the field. Um, which another, well, it's not really another race of what could have been. It's just sort of a robbery coming across the line. But hopefully that gets rectified before next week, which
Joe Dauber said he's over it, no issue. That's how you want to go sim racing, guys. It is a race and it is a game at the end of the day. Joe Dauber had his fun. Doesn't really matter about the championship result.
he is the poster child of I'm doing this for fun. He starts at the back of the grid pretty much every race, sees what he can get up to, shrugs shoulders at the end of the day, virtually high fives everybody, and goes about the rest of his evening. Which I think we can all learn something from that, because that's just a good attitude, to say the least. Callum, any final words of wisdom for us before we close this thing out?
I mean, America's thrown up some curveballs. I think Kevin Boss probably chose the right race to do the rain on. So I think that's. I've never spoke so fast as the first lap. So sorry if that came through on the stream as mumbo jumbo, but yeah, we tried our best to keep up. It was a very entertaining race. Big thanks to all the drivers who took part. It's a very difficult race. All 19 of you, I think, probably had an issue at some point, apart from maybe Martin Lorenk. But yeah, big thanks to all those guys. Big thanks to the stewards as well for keeping them all in check and making sure that no one does anything too naughty. They had a bit to do as well, but then yeah, big thanks. It's really nice to have them. Obviously, on a Monday series, if you are interested in joining the team or doing anything to do with racing, etc., in any of our series that are live at the moment, if you join us in our Discord, I believe all the links are posted in relevant places. And then also we run everything through SimGrid at the moment. So if you search on SimGrid RCI, you'll see all of the championships that we're running the moment up and running. I think we've got some more to be announced soon as well, Jack, probably. So
Almost. Certainly,
almost.
yeah. This is one of those few times where it's just Mondays. It's everything sort of ran ran through and finished up. But I'm certain we'll have Fridays coming soon. LMU will come back to Racing Club International, and that's all to look forward to. And of course, we have the rest of this series to look forward to as well. Sign-ups are still open for this series and all of the future series we will have coming up. And just to reiterate what Callum said about joining our team, if you are interested, we're certainly looking to bolster our phenomenal and existing steward and broadcast teams. So if you check the channel, I'm forgetting the word completely, staff vacancies.
Staff
I couldn't come up with the word
vacancies.
staff for some reason. Don't know. It's been a busier broadcast than I would have liked, but we all made it to the end. Not because of the racing, because of my own networking issues. Racing was phenomenal, and thank you again to all the racers, and thank you all to everyone who's been here, and thank you to our partners, Ready Set Sim, Coach Dave Delta, Green Man Gaming, Moser Racing, Pimax, and of course Motorsport UK. All of their links and relevant information is in the description. And of course, thank you to you for being here, for choosing to spend your time with us for some racing action. Join us back next Monday. We'll be at Donington. It won't be wet. I don't know. Maybe Kevin Boss will go in and change that just because I've now said that to make me look like a fool. But it won't be wet. It'll be beautiful-ish. I mean, it's the UK, so it'll be fine, I guess. But it'll be great. We look forward to seeing you there. Thank you so much for being here. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day.
You ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Get behind the wheel, let's go. Grip the road, feel the flow. Thunder roaring, steel alive. Live this dream and drive. Tires burning with gasoline. Push the limits, chasing green. One shot, don't slow. Go on, we'll take control. Engines scream alive tonight. Blazing past the red line. Outrun the night, won't lose this fight. Follow the road, red line for show. We're chasing taillights, don't let go. Under the stars, we'll go so far. This is who we are. Chasing taillights. Chasing taillights. Chasing taillights. We're chasing taillights. The miles they fade, but they don't die. Faster now, the hours fly by. Sweat and gears, hearts in sync. On the edge, on the brink. Clock ticks down, stakes are high. One mistake, we kiss us goodbye. Don't slow down, we're not done. Finish line for the strong ones. Engines scream.